gonna make him an offer again.
Of all the gin joints and all the towns and all the world.
Handle the truth. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the
Frankly,
war.
my dear, I don't give a damn.
This is where the fun begins.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Movie Melee. We got another exciting match for you this evening in the singles division. We got Rick Weaver, who we haven't seen in singles since, I believe, 2023 or something like that, when he faced Jacob Cameron. Now he's returning to face newcomer Steve Mesa, who we saw earlier in the season in teams, making his debut in singles. Should be an exciting match. Joining me on the desk today is Jack Pinchuk. Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Dylan. It's been a bit of a day, but I'm here. I'm really excited for this match, and I'm glad to be back on the desk with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get right into pre-match interviews, starting with Rick Weaver. Rick, it's been a while since we've seen you in the singles ring. How you feeling going up against Steve?
Steve and I have faced each other in many different iterations of trivia, so I'm looking forward to a fun match, somebody I'm familiar with in the community, and I'm glad to be back for singles. Obviously, I've done tag team with my buddy JPO, but decided to give singles another try this year, so excited to see what happens tonight.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to you. We will now bring in your opponent for this evening. One Mr. Steve Mesa. Steve, this is your first match in singles. We saw you in teams earlier this season. So how are you feeling going into today's match?
I'm feeling good. I'm not going to take Rick. I'm not going to take him lightly. He is a very, very great competitor. He knows his stuff when he knows it. He's on the dot, and it could be between. I honestly think we could go either way. I could win. He could win. It wouldn't be a surprise with what the results would be. So, I'm just trying to enjoy this as a singles competitor for here, and I appreciate you guys having me here. So, thank you guys.
You're welcome. Well, good luck to you as well. We will now get into round number one, which will work like this. It is the whiteboard round. Each player will be asked 8 questions in 8 different categories of movie trivia, which they will answer individually on their whiteboards. If they get all 8 questions correct, they'll be asked a bonus question, also worth a point. It's like any other round one you've seen, basically. You should know what I mean by now. Anyways, 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
Cool. Then your first question will be in the category of sports. Who stars as Adonis Creed in the Creed franchise?
These are good movies. Or at least the first one is.
Hot take.
You
haven't seen the other ones? Oh, nope. They're great.
Yeah, no. I wanted to see the third one when it came to theaters, but didn't have time to watch the second.
2, 1. Pens down. You're actually missing out. I like the third one the best of the 3. Rick.
Michael B. Jordan.
And Steve?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan is correct.
All right, tie game as we get into your second question of the round, which comes in my favorite category, the category of Oscars. For what film did Harrison Ford receive his only nomination for Best Actor?
Only one, Harrison? Jeez. Come on, man. Step it up.
You beat me to it. Yeah, no. He's a pretty okay actor. I like him.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I'm kidding. I like Harrison Ford. Steve?
Witness.
And Rick?
Witness.
Witness is correct. Staying tied 2-2 as we get into your next question in the category of the 2000s. In There Will Be Blood, Daniel's son, H.W., loses which of his senses?
Saw this movie for the first time when I was in high school film studies, and
you hated it?
No, it blew me away. I hated The Artist, which we watched in that same class. Terrible movie.
5.
There Will Be Blood is
4,
great.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Rick.
I put Sight.
And Steve?
Hearing.
Hearing is correct. So that Steve takes the lead 3-2.
And with that, we'll get into your next category, biopics. In Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury reveals to the rest of Queen that he has AIDS while they are rehearsing for what event?
I do not like this film.
That's okay. I saw it once in the theater, and I really, really liked it then. I haven't seen it since. Kind of scared to rewatch it. Hey, at least
Don't rewatch it if you like it. 5,
editing Oscar for
4,
some reason.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Steve.
Live Aid.
And Rick.
Live Aid.
Live Aid is correct. So your next question will be in the category of classics. Who directed the 50s thrillers Strangers on a Train, North by Northwest, and To Catch a Thief? I like 2 of these a lot. The other one's fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, the other one's not bad. It's like 3.5 stars, but the other 2 are like 4.5, 5-star movies. Like, all time.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Rick
Mr. Hitchcock.
and Steve.
Alfred Hitchcock.
That is correct. 5-4.
And with that, we will we'll get into your next category, action adventure. Who appears in the films Die Hard, Expendables, and the G.I. Joe franchises?
Okay, so Die Hard, G.I. Joe, or the Expendables? Which one do you like? That's a really easy question. I'm sorry.
It is.
Don't
an
even
easy
bother
question,
answering that.
But you know what? I'll do it anyway. I like G.I. Joe Retaliation when it came out. I was
There you
12.
go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Yeah, that's easily the best of all the films I mentioned. Steve
Bruce Willis.
and Rick.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is correct. So then your penultimate question in the round will come in the category of horror. What is the name of the town that Scream takes place in?
These are.
I agree.
I had words and I lost them. These are great movies. There's only one that I would call bad.
I mean, I guess they're great. I'm sick of seeing them on the wheel for every Why We Love Horror match that I've ever played in. 5.
I
4,
mean, us
3,
non-horror guys have only
2,
got like 2
1.
strikes.
Pens down. We'll go to Rick
Blank board. I couldn't take it down.
and Steve.
Woodsboro.
Woodsboro is correct. So
And-
Steve extends his lead 7-5 there.
And we'll get into your final question, which comes in the category of recent releases. Your question. What is the name of the school that most of Wicked takes place at?
And as much as I hate to jinx him, I will say if Steve gets this question right, he will have a perfect round.
Yes.
I haven't seen Wicked yet. Is it any good?
It's great. As someone who knew nothing about the musical, I had an absolute blast. I'm very excited for part 2. Don't know what happens in it, so if anyone knows,
5,
please don't tell me.
4, 3,
I have an idea because I've seen
2,
The Wizard of Oz, but like,
1.
come on.
Pens down. We will start with Rick
I had no idea. I haven't seen this. I put School of Good and Evil.
and Steve for the perfect round.
Shiz.
Shiz is correct. As weird of a name as that is, but yeah. So that is a
I definitely
perfect
thought it
round.
said something different when I first saw it.
So that is a perfect round for Steve. So this question will go only to him. Your question. Who has voiced a cat in Stuart Little, a bear in Dr. Dolittle 2, and a pig in Chicken Little? And you don't have to write this one down. You can just say it.
Oh, Steve's on.
And that is correct for the true perfect round.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So with that, coming out of round number 1, I have the score at Steve in the lead 9-5. Is that what you have, Jack?
That is what I have.
Obligatory Dolly Parton reference as I bring in the wheel for what will be round number 2, which is the wheel round. So each player will get the chance to spin the wheel, which will decide what category they'll be answering questions in today. If they don't like what they spin the first time, they can spin a second time, but they must keep whatever category it lands on then. Each question worth 2 points apiece, unless they check down to 1 point, unless they check down to multiple choice, in which case it'll be worth 1 point. Stealing is available in this round. Categories on the wheel today are 2010s comedies, 1990s drama, mystery/thrillers, coming of age/teen, horror, westerns, and 2010s. So, Steve, since you are in the lead, would you like to spin first or defer?
I would like to defer.
All right, then Rick, this will be your first spin. And you land on coming of age/teen.
I'll play it.
You'll keep it? All right. All right, Jack, would you like to ask him his questions in coming of age/teen?
Sure. Rick, are you ready for your questions?
Yes.
Awesome. Your first question.
Both players' hands on screen. Yeah.
Yes.
You're good. All right.
Your first question. In The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Charlie ends up in the hospital after a bad experience with what drug?
Multiple choice.
All right. Your multiple choice options are A, cocaine, B, LSD, C, Quaaludes, or D, meth.
B.
Sorry, come again?
B. LSD.
That is correct for 1 point.
Would have been wild if it was Quaaludes, but yeah.
Honestly, that movie would have been even better. Your next question. In 10 Things I Hate About You, Pat's ex Joey dreams of having what profession?
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, singer, B, model, C, race car driver, or D, football player.
Model.
That is correct for 1 point. Your third question. Who directed My Own Private Idaho?
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options. Is it A, Peter Weir, B, Jonathan Demme, C, Gus Van Sant, or D, James Ivory?
C.
C is correct for 1 point. And your penultimate question in this round. What kind of business does Ruby's family own in Coda? Five, 4, 3, 2.
I'm going to say a farm.
That is incorrect. Steve, chance for the 2 point steal.
Fishing.
That is correct for 2 points. And your final question in the category of coming of age/teen. Who plays Will's mother, Elaine, in Almost Famous? Five, 4, 3.
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options. Is it A, Goldie Hawn, B, Frances McDormand, C, Holly Hunter, or D, Kathy Bates?
Frances McDormand.
Frances McDormand is correct for 1 point.
All right, so coming out of Rick's round, I have the score now. Steve in the lead, 11 to Rick's 9. Is that what you have, Jack?
That is what I have.
All right, then we'll bring back the wheel for what will be Steve's first spin. You land on 2010s comedies. Would you like to keep that or spin again?
Spin again.
All right, then you must keep whatever you land on here. You land on opponent choice.
2010 comedies.
2010s comedies, all right. put the wheel backstage, and I will be reading you your questions in 2010's comedies. Your first question. Amy Poehler and Paul Rudd co-star in which 2010's comedy?
They Came Together.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. Lady Bird plays the title character in which Shakespeare play in Lady Bird?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, The Tempest, B, The Taking of the Shrew, C, The Merry Wives of Windsor, or D, Antony and Cleopatra.
A, The Tempest.
That is correct for 1 point. Your third question. What is the name of the all-male a cappella group Bumper is the lead of in Pitch Perfect?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, the Acafellas, B, the Treble Makers, C, the Harmonics, or D, Das Sound Machine.
A, Rockefellers.
That is incorrect. Rick, for the 1 point steal, is it A, the Acafellas, B, the Treble Makers, C, the Harmonics, or D, the Das Sound Machine?
B.
That is correct for the 1 point steal. All right, your penultimate question in this category. Who directed War Dogs?
Todd Phillips.
That is correct for 2 points. And now your final question in this category. In Welcome to Marwin, which type of women's clothing does Mark collect and like to wear?
Multiple choice.
Your options are, there you go.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Your options are A, dress, B, bra, C, shoes, or D, skirt.
C, shoes.
That is correct for 1 point. So with that, coming out of round number 2, I have Steve in the lead, 17 to Rick's 10. Is that what you have, Jack?
That is what I have, yes.
All right, then we will get into round number 3, which will work like this. It is the Pick Your Poison round. So we'll be going back and forth drafting categories, starting with the player in the lead. Once a category is drafted, it cannot be drafted by your opponent. Once all categories are drafted, the player behind will answer questions until they take the lead. The players will choose which category they would like to take for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point question in that order, and we will go until there is a mathematical winner. The categories that they can draft today are directors, comedy, horror, recent releases, Oscars, sports, 1990s, and coming of age. So we'll let them pick their categories right now, and we will be right back. All right, we're back. The players have selected their categories, so we'll start with Rick since he is down by 7. So what category would you like for your 1 pointer?
Let's go recent releases.
Okay.
I thought Steve took recent releases.
No.
I didn't think recent releases.
I marked that wrong on the board then. Whoops. My bad. Sorry.
Your question in recent releases. Josh Hartnett stars in which 2024 horror film?
Trap.
That is correct for 1 point. So now what what category would you like for your 2 pointer?
Coming of age.
All right. Your question in the category of coming of age /teen. Jeff Bridges, Sybil Shepherd, and Ellen Burstyn appear in what 70s coming of age film?
Can you repeat it?
Sure. That is your first repeat. Your question again. Jeff Bridges, Sybil Shepherd, and Ellen Burstyn appear in what 1970s coming of age film?
Starman.
That is unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for The Last Picture Show. All right, so then here's the situation now. Rick has his 3 and 4 pointer remaining. He has to hit both to stay in the game. So what category would you like for your 3-pointer?
We'll go sports.
All right, your 3-pointer in the category of sports. In Blades of Glory, before Chaz and Jimmy attempt it, what happened the last time the Iron Lotus maneuver, and why was it deemed to be too dangerous to attempt?
It cut off a body part. I don't know if I need to be more specific than that.
Can you be more specific? You know what? I'll accept that we didn't say specific. You're good. We added someone was decapitated. I'm going to accept that answer.
I was torn between a head and an arm. I couldn't remember.
All right. So then that is correct for 3 points. What would? Never mind. You have to keep your next category. Like, don't have a decision. Yeah. So here's the situation. He has his 4-pointer remaining in comedy. If he hits it, he will send it back over to Steve to answer some questions. If he misses, then Steve will be the winner. So your question in the category of comedy. Trading Places is primarily set in what U.S. city?
Philadelphia.
That is correct for 4 big points.
Good one.
All right, so then we'll go back over to Steve. So what question would you, or what categories, I keep saying that, what category would you like for your 1-pointer?
Let's go with 1990s.
All right, Jack?
Yep. All right, your 1-point question in the category of the 1990s. Who plays Carolyn Burnham in American Beauty?
Annette Bening.
That is correct for 1 point.
All right, so now if Steve hits any of his remaining 3 questions, he will win.
All right, what would you like your 2-pointer in?
Directors.
All right, your 2-point question in the category of directors. Who made their directorial debut with 2018's A Star is Born?
Bradley Cooper.
And your winner, Steve Mesa. Bradley Cooper was correct. Great game. We'll put everyone backstage for now, and I'll talk to Jack. Jack, I thought that was a really good match. What do you think?
That was a really good match. Steve getting a true perfect round, and actually, he missed.
Only missed one question.
Only missed one question the entire match. This was a great match. Rick didn't have a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination. Just he had the unfortunate task of going up against Steve today, who was just who seemed like he could barely miss. And I wrote the opposite categories on the side of the whiteboards for round 3 categories than I should have. That's why I got
fair. Well, anyways, we'll go into post-match interviews, starting with our unfortunate 2nd place finisher today, Rick Weaver. Rick, like Jack said, I think that was a solid performance overall. It's just Steve was kind of on fire today. Like he only missed one question, like we said. He was able to pick up on the steal and coming of age. But overall, you battled back really well in round 3. 18 points is a very solid score. So how do you feel overall?
Good. I knew coming in Steve was going to be a tough match. I second-guessed myself a couple times in the second round, which possibly came back to bite me. But no, I had good performance. The wheel actually worked for me. I have a bad relationship with the wheel. So to get my categories, and I know Steve's not the hugest fan of 2010s comedies, I thought maybe that would help me, but he dominated that as well. So Steve put on a fantastic match, and I look forward to coming back again.
Well, when you do come back, is there anyone who you'd be wanting to face?
JPO, my tag team partner. I think it's always fun to battle a good friend. So that would be a fun match, I think.
That would be fun. I would like to see that. Well, anyways, we'll put you backstage for now. Thank you for coming out. And we'll bring in our first place finisher for this evening, Steve Mesa. Very, very impressive performance. Like we said, spinning your opponent's strength and then doing that well in it, especially when it seemed like you weren't confident in it. You spun away from it, then got stuck with it and did really well in it. Overall, you got the true perfect round in round one. Like just a all around great performance. So how you feel?
I feel good. It's not bad to make my singles debut in not a dominating fashion, but like a very, very, very strong, fashion. I believe maybe like not a lot of people hit a perfect score in the first round. So I feel like I'm one of the few people that do. So it just shows that, I have the medal to be here in Movie Melee, and, I'm not such a pushover. So, I'm here to try to see what I can do and hopefully maybe see something, maybe push myself to glory someday.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, very strong 1-0 start to your career. So when you do return, is there anyone who you would want to face? And is it JPO?
Damn it. You know what? Rick stole my answer. It was actually going to be JPO. But, somebody, I don't know what the roster looks like. I know there's a lot of overlapping from the trivia community. So if you have a Mr. Chadwick Webb on your roster, I wouldn't mind facing him in a Movie Melee match if you have him on your roster. But,
I don't think he's played in a while, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you for coming out. It was a great performance. We'll put you backstage for now. And that'll do it for us for this episode of Movie Melee. Thank you to the writers for writing, the players for playing, everyone who helps make this show what it is. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jack, for co-hosting. We'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
In case I don't see you.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.